It's never 50-50, and I agree with him on that one.
No, there's never 50-50. There's always something dominant. Always something dominant.
I agree.
That can switch back and forth.
I agree.
And I believe that there are times when my woman takes the lead role. I do believe that there are times when my woman takes the lead role.
I agree.
Because it might be whatever it is, like she's better at this than me. I grew up in a household where my father wasn't educated. My mother was educated. My mother used to deal with a lot of things when it came to clerical things, when it came to administrative things, when it came to dealing with the teachers and so forth and so on. My father was the breadwinner, man's man, truck driver. Well, he come home whoop ass, he tired. Like, I don't want to even talk. Somebody did some bullshit, I'm whooping somebody's ass. I learned that. But I also learned as I grew up, my mother, and I'm putting my business out here, like, fuck it, you know how I do. My mother hid a lot of things from my father because all my father used to do was, he was a disciplinarian. He used to hit me on certain levels. It got to the point my father was hitting me and I was standing there looking at him. Like, I'm 15 years old, you beat me, this shit ain't gonna work. You're gonna need something. You're gonna need something different than that belt. He started punching me. So my mother used to hide things. But based on that, I saw how the household, as I got older, was upside down. There was a... Now, mind you, I don't blame my mother. It's my father, in a way, that dealt with me to where my mother felt a need to protect me. Now, I'm trying not to put their business too much, because this is, you know, I can speak about me and the things I did. I don't want to speak about my parents in a way where I disrespect them. But what I'm saying is that in times when my mother took the lead role was where my father dropped the ball in a way, and a woman picked it up. I see this happen in the black community all the time.
Why would you say he dropped the ball if he didn't know about it?
No, not because she didn't tell him. I'm just saying when he allowed a breakdown in their relationship to where she felt she couldn't tell him. Because again, everything exists in thought before it exists physically. There's stages. In other words, he knew that my mother objected to him hitting me, yet he kept doing it. So she had to find another means to prevent me from getting hit. Yeah, that's where he dropped the ball. But he didn't listen to his wife.
I don't believe that. I get it. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Speak what you say.
No, I get what you're saying, but listen, there's a lot of people who feel differently. They should have talked to their kids and stuff like that. But there's a lack of the punishment the way it used to be back in the days. And I don't know, you know, whether you went to the left because of that, whether you went to the left because.
No, I would never blame them for my actions.
Right.
I would never blame them for my actions. I'm speaking about the breakdown in what happened. Go ahead, Kate.
I'm gonna say that your mother was the same as my grandmother, because I grew up with my grandmother, and that was just a pacifier. She just made it worse for me, because now I know I have somebody that's gonna look out for me.
Right.
No matter what I get into, she's there.
But how did that become? What I'm saying is, how did that come to fruition? How that came to fruition was based on that man's decision, that the woman in turn learned to work with. Like, put it like this, we could talk about, there's some people who have no belief in the Bible, forget the Bible. I'm not one of those people. I think the Bible is a guide for life on some level. Definitely. Adam was born first. Adam was created first. The woman was created as a helpmate. Now, I'm not sitting here telling you I'm righteous. You understand? I'm not sitting here saying that I live according to the Bible. But when it's giving me a blueprint and it's telling me that this is this, it's making me understand what my role is. In my household, in that household, my father, the reason why I said he dropped the ball, and I love my pops, but the reason why I said he dropped the ball is because my mother had requests and cries that he did not adhere to correctly. He didn't hear what was said. She is a helpmate. He was supposed to hear her cries. How they handled it, you know, whatever. Like, different bad choices were made, whatever you want to call it. But the initial moment that they had where that could have been dealt with differently was his choice. It was his choice.
I'm lost.
I'm not gonna say I'm lost.
What I'm saying?
I'm gonna say this.
I'm lost.
You don't know by him sitting down talking to you that you would have went to the right.
No, I'm not saying I would have went to the right. I'm saying that I saw a breakdown in their communication because I learned as a child that they're not a unified
Oh, I got
front.
what you.
But it wasn't your
The Bible says
father.
a man and a woman are one.
It wasn't your father who dropped the ball. It wasn't your
Correct.
father who did that.
Yeah, it was.
It was your mom.
No, because
I
he kept
disagree.
beating me. He
I
kept beating
disagree,
me when
but
he
you-
knew that
but
she didn't
you-
want me to.
But the point is
didn't
that
find
he's
another
the
way.
man of the house, and you're saying he need to find another way. But the point is that sometimes, listen, I saw you in your 20s. I never seen you in your teens, man.
Back to the
but sorry, bro. Sorry.
If the 20s was bad, you could imagine what the teens was.
and that's the point, man. And I'm sure he ain't beat you for getting A's in school.
Yeah.
I'm sure he ain't beat you for sitting there doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I'm sure he ain't beat you for anything you did, quote unquote, positive in what society said. I mean, I could be wrong.
No, well,
did he
I
beat you because he walked in the house drunk?
Nah.
And he just
Nah,
beat you just for the sake of beating you?
Nah, that man was a man's man.
Okay.
Pops, where you at now? Because he...
Nah, that's
Yeah.
my dude.
But see, you know
He
what?
need a couple
That's
of women.
maturity.
That's my dude.
That's
my dude.
maturity. And you know what? For what you just said, it took you going through what you went through to understand why he did
Why
what
he
he
did
did. Because he didn't do it because he felt like beating you. Just like me with my son. I didn't do it because I felt like beating him. I did it because my mother would go behind me and give him whatever he wanted,
Yeah.
no matter what I told her not to do. And what I told her that I
She
said is gonna
undermined
affect
your
him.
authority.
Correct.
This is
But
what I'm
you know
saying to
what?
you.
But then
But the-
she goes back to what she's saying. You're saying that your pops dropped the ball. he
No,
didn't.
but why? Let me show you why. Because all things begin somewhere. You have to go to the beginning. Me, I'm not a dude that chops at leaves when I want the weeds out my yard. I go to the root. The root is where it began. Where that breakdown began is where she felt like her
You
words
should've
weren't
chopped
being
your mom.
regarded. No, listen to what I'm saying to you. At some point, a woman is going to feel like her words are not being regarded. She's going to find another way. That goes both ways. A man will feel like his words are not being regarded. He'll find another way. What I'm saying is that when she felt the need to hide from me, hide from him.
I'm going to my quotes right now. Go ahead.
All right, go ahead. No, but when
ahead.
she felt the need to hide from him, that what I did so that he wouldn't beat me, she gave me a bargaining chip. Now I could play the mother against the father. So I'm asking myself, what was the root of that? Is it that my mother chose to hide, or that my mother did her natural inclination, being emotional, and chose to protect her child from whoever?
Your mother chose to hide.
She chose to.
Right.
So can I fault her for protecting her child? No, I have to fault the person she was protecting her child from. He was the villain.
For one,
That's his fault.
he wasn't going to kill you.
Shit,
didn't
you
beat
never
you to
know.
make you
People
do it.
kill their kids.
Oh shit.
Well, yeah,
By
but
mistake.
after
No,
all
by
the things
mistake.
we've been going
by
through.
mistake. A person could kill their kid. And not, you're right, he might not.
Can't
But he didn't change me. He beat me anyway, and I
your
still
ass
ended up
was
in jail.
bad and you needed your ass whooped.
That shit didn't change nothing.
Yeah, well, that's the way I feel.
It
You know
changed
what? As much as you say it didn't
It changed
change
shit.
nothing for you, it didn't.
If mommy wouldn't have
for
stopped
me,
you,
it
don't
did because
know.
I was petrified of my dad for beating me. He only beat me maybe about 3 or 4 times in my life, but those 3 or 4 times was good enough
No, but
to
my
say
pops
I
beat me
can't mess
30,
with
40
him.
times in my
Yeah,
life.
but you know what? I beat my son more than my father beat me. You know, because my mother kept doing what he did. And listen, and I agree with you. You know, it's the character in the person, who whatever it is. You know, and I agree with you. But you know what? It's my son going through what he goes through that he turned around and says, yeah, I did that to spite you. I did it to spite you. And now that I know better, it's like I did it to spite you. It's like, okay, well, who's it hurting? It didn't hurt me.
At all.
It is. But that's a different conversation.
He said it is hurting him.
You goddamn right. Ain't no man, child, a man. We're gonna have our conversations about dudes and their kids and all that. But any man who's, to me, worth his weight in salt, what your child does affects you, because that's your child. That's my resurrection.
Oh, yeah, it affects you.
know what I
I
mean?
don't disagree with that.
I front on my daughters too, like, yo, this is your life.
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it's
But in my mind, I'm saying, yo, this shit is killing me. What are you doing?
I agree.
What are you doing to us?
Yeah.
I agree.
No, you're killing us.
You want your
No.
kid to be
Yeah,
successful.
no, you want them to be
You want
happy.
them to be a step
want them to
further
be
than
happy.
you ever was.